Hello, YouTube. A quarter of a century ago, the SR-2 Veresk submachine gun was adopted by the special forces of the FSB of Russia. The Federal Security Service, FSB, is Russia's principal domestic security and counterintelligence agency, succeeding the Soviet KGB. It is responsible for national security, counterterrorism, information security, protecting state borders, and combating organized crime with broad powers, including surveillance and intelligence gathering, both domestically and abroad. The FSB is a powerful central institution in Russia with significant influence on policy and society. The security forces received a compact, ergonomic, rapid-fire weapon capable of hitting the enemy with body armor. The Veresk owes its firepower to an improved cartridge with high penetrating power and a powerful stopping effect. Along with the Veresk, several other unique submachine guns were developed for the Russian security forces. I've told you about different submachine guns in the Soviet Union and Russia, so I want to give you a little bit more information. So among such unique submachine guns were Kedr, Bizon, Vityaz, and Kashtan. The latest product in this segment is the PPK-20, capable of firing 800 rounds per minute. According to experts, submachine guns remain a sought-after weapon among law enforcement officers in Russia, special forces and military police. On July 14, year 2000, the SR-2 Veresk submachine gun was adopted by the special forces of the FSB of Russia. The weapon was designed for a new 9 by 21 millimeter high penetration cartridge and met all customer requirements. It was compact, ergonomic, and quick firing. SR-2 is an abbreviation for Специальная разработка, or special development. Veresk is the name of the development work. The unique submachine gun was created by a group of specialists led by Nikolai Kuzin, a leading designer engineer at the Spetsnaz, a Russian industrial design bureau, which is a major designer and producer of weapons for the Russian military and the Ministry of Interior National Guard. The name is an abbreviation for Central Scientific Research Institute for Precision Machine Engineering, which would be Центральный научно-исследовательский институт точного машиностроения. The designers of Spetsnaz have made Veresk very convenient for carrying out their tasks. It is really necessary to neutralize terrorists in an open field. Even when fully taken apart, SR-2 gives operatives the opportunity to work in cramped conditions in urban areas, in the corridors of premises, in transport, according to Spetsnaz representative. And by the way, Spetsnaz, part of the Kalashnikov concern of Rostec State Corporation. Compact and powerful SR-2 Veresk was created in the 1990s when crime and terrorism in Russia were at their peak. As Konstantin Lazarev, head of the Lazarev Tactical Media Holding and small arms specialist, told Russian media, special forces, Spetsnaz, and law enforcement officers needed compact automatic weapons capable of piercing personal protective equipment. They needed a compact weapon for pistol ammunition, but at the same time it would have to have a higher rate of fire, more ammunition, and the ability to work at a greater distance than just a pistol, said Lazarev. According to him, the designer of Spetsnaz were able to create a decent weapon for the Russian security forces. As reported on the developer's website, Veresk is adapted for firing in a variety of situations. For example, the length of the submachine gun allows you to bring it to the aiming position, even if the shooter is driving a car. The KP-SR2 collimator sight was also made specifically for the SR2. It makes it possible to quickly aim the weapon at the target, leaving both eyes open. This method of aiming is considered the most optimal for short-term combat at close range. For ease of development and combat use, a flag-type mode switch similar to those on Kalashnikov assault rifles was placed on the left side of the Veresk receiver. On the right side, the designers of SNI Tochmash placed a safety catch that protects against accidental shots during falls, bumps, or accidental pulling of the trigger. In addition, the Veresk turned out to be significantly lighter than the shortened AKS-74U assault rifle, which was part of the arsenal of the Russian security forces at that time. The range of the SR-2 reached 200 meters. According to Rostec, the key advantages of the SR-2 are compact size, powerful ammunition, high rate of fire, and reliable design. The submachine gun made it possible to hit the enemy in second-class personal protective equipment and in unarmored vehicles. The Veresk owes its firepower to the improved SP-10 cartridge with high penetrating power and powerful stopping action. According to Lazarev, this ammunition was distinguished by a bulky sleeve which allowed to increase the amount of gunpowder. Thanks to its sufficiently powerful CP2 ammunition, the Veresk allows combatants to work. They can be used both for short and fairly long distances. This weapon makes it possible to confidently hit the height dimension at a distance of 200 meters. This is a very good result for a submachine gun, emphasized Lazarev. As stated in the material of SNI Tochmash in subsequent years, as part of the development work of Introduction and Elevation 2 engineers from the Moscow region upgraded SR-2. The improved SR-2M submachine gun is characterized by an unusually high rate of fire, 900 rounds per minute. It also received a fully folding stock and a tactical handle, which improve handling and accuracy of fire. If necessary, a combatant can effectively fire with one hand if the other one is occupied, for example, with a shield or wounded comrade. The length of the SR-2M with a folded butt is 350 millimeters. Thus, the weapon can be carried covertly on the body using up auxiliary suspension, according to the Rostec materials. Another upgraded version of the Veresk was the SR-2MP model. Its main features are a standard muzzle silencer and a Picatinny rail for mounting auxiliary equipment, sights, flashlights, laser points. In addition, the new Veresk has an additional curved butt, which is more convenient to use with the visor of an assault helmet lowered. The State Corporation website states, as stated in the materials of Rostec, the small-size submachine guns are most often used as weapons by Spetsnaz soldiers and security forces personnel. It can also be used to arm second-line military personnel, crews of combat vehicles, aircraft, and artillery crews. According to experts, the first submachine gun designed for the needs of the security forces is the PP-91 Kedr. The weapon was designed in the early 1990s by the order of the Interior Ministry. Since 1992, it has been manufactured at the Zlatoust machine building plant. The submachine gun is designed for combat at ranges of up to 50 and 100 meters. It is equipped with a folding metal stock, a double-row box magazine, and a combined type sighting device. Additionally, the Kedr can be equipped with a silencer and a laser designator. The submachine gun uses 9x18mm cartridges for firing. Its automation works according to the recoil pattern with a free shutter and provides a rate of fire of up to 1,000 rounds per minute. Also in the early 1990s, Russian designers created the PP-19 Bizon submachine gun on their own initiative. It was developed at the famous Izmash. The prototype was presented to the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Russia and after completion launched into mass production. The Bizon featured a screw magazine, a type of high-capacity drum magazine. As stated in the materials of the Kalashnikov concern, the screw magazine allows you to shoot literally pressed into the ground or a parapet, and their large longitudinal dimensions can be disguised by the dimension of the weapon itself. However, the screw magazine was not very convenient to carry and load cartridges. Therefore, in the mid-2000s, Izhevsk residents developed a more ergonomic and reliable PP-1901 Vitязь SN submachine gun, based on the Bison and the AK-105 assault rifle. These weapons were equipped with box magazines for 30 rounds. Kalashnikov believes that due to its successful design, the Vitязь SN is suitable for arming specialists of any profile, from special units to military personnel of certain specialties, to solve problems of ensuring their personal safety. The mass of the submachine gun is 2.85 kilograms. The length with the stock unfolded is 698 millimeters, with the folded one 475 millimeters. The aiming range is 200 meters. The rate of fire is 800 rounds per minute. Subsequently, Izhevsk specialists created the PPK-20 submachine gun based on the Vitязь. It differs from its predecessors in compact size, lower weight, and the ability to fire using a quick-release device for low noise and flame-free firing. In addition, the weapon received a folding telescopic stock made of impact-resistant polymer, an ergonomic pistol grip, and an upgraded two-way fire. The mass of the PPK-20 is 2.7 kilograms. The rate of fire is 800 rounds per minute, and the aiming range is 200 meters. Its serial deliveries to the troops began in 2023. Another popular Russian submachine gun is the PP-2000. It was developed at the Tula Instrument Engineering Design Bureau under the leadership of Vasily Gryazev and Arkady Shipunov. Since 2006, the PP-2000 has been used in special forces Spetsnaz and as a weapon for law enforcement officers. Since 2024, the submachine gun has been supplied to units located in the war zone, that's the Ukrainian war, as a personnel weapon for pilots of the Russian aerospace forces. The special feature of the PP-2000 is that it is designed for continuous fire with 160 rounds. Its body is made of impact-resistant plastic, which not only reduced the weight of the weapon 1.4 kilogram, but also added durability. For example, the Austrian Glock pistol is made in the same way. From the point of view of experts, the outstanding development is the AEK 919K Kashtan, created in a special design bureau of the Kovrov mechanical plant. This submachine gun was made with an eye to Western weapons models. As stated in the materials of the Rosgvardia, its prototype was the Austrian Steyr MRI 69, which has proven itself well in many foreign law enforcement units. According to Konstantin Lazarev, submachine guns, structurally similar to AK, have become the most widespread in the law enforcement agencies and troops of the Russian Federation. They are intuitive, so they are mastered faster by law enforcement officers and special forces officers. Military observer Alexander Butyrin called submachine guns a worthy example of personal weapons. They are still relevant for Spetsnaz combatants combatants in populated areas and the frontline zone. In addition, submachine gun can be adapted to defeat drones, the expert says, and drones are very important in today's battlefields and beyond. So that's what I wanted to let you know today. I do like to bring interesting features about Russian weapons, but before I end, I do want to add two comments I saw pertaining to these machine guns. There was this incident with the Kedar. In 1997, this Russian studied at the security guard school in Moscow. The school was located at the Mining University of Moscow, Leninsky Prospect. There was a shooting gallery. Once, at a fire training class in this shooting range, he watched an FSB officer come to the instructor with a service Kedr submachine gun to practice. The instructor had never fired such a weapon. He asked the FSB officer who gave him his weapon. The instructor decided to fire with one hand, like in the movies where the Uzi is fired and bursts, with one hand in all directions. As a result, the round passed through the ceiling and ended above the instructor's head. It's good the round didn't go reach to where the students were standing. That's the rate of fire. Another one fired from the Kedr while serving in the Ministry of Interior troops. He didn't like it at all. It doesn't seem to be a gun, and it's much smaller than the AK. It's completely inconvenient. Habit and skill are probably needed. So there are a number of opinions, and again, I wanted to bring you as much as I could about the submachine guns used by the Russian Interior Forces, Spetsnaz, FSB, and others. So that's for today. And again, I have more to tell you about. If you like my research, please support me through the links you find in the description to this video. Please tell others about my work. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.